Isaiah 40:30 through 31. Youths will become tired and weary, young men will certainly stumble, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will fly up on wings like eagles. They will run and not be tired. They will walk and not be weary. Micah 6:8. He has told you, human one, what is good and what the Lord requires from you, to do justice, embrace faithful love, and walk humbly with your God.
Good morning. As I was looking back and trying to create ideas for today's sermon, I kind of just looked at my past and see how it went and how everything fell into place. I noticed that there were 6 key points throughout my entire journey. The first step of my journey was to start here. My mom and dad and I moved to Murray from Oklahoma when I was about 6 years old. So as soon as we moved here, I started kindergarten. After we settled in, we started attending this church and eventually became members. I joined the children's ministry and had a blast through the whole thing. The more we attended, the more people I became friends with. Some of my very first friends are the seniors sitting out in the pews today. This was only the beginning of my journey. Confirmation. In December of the year 2013, a group of us met and studied the Bible and its history. This was the first part of my journey that I decided what was going to be the end result. Before we started the set of classes, we had to choose a mentor to help us along the way. Many chose mentors they already knew, but mine was a complete different story. I had just gotten back from a mission trip, and my family went to Culver's to get some ice cream. Now, in this point in my life, I was not a big talker at all. I kept to myself, didn't talk to anyone. As we were standing in line, there was this couple in front of us that apparently went to this church too. Now, when my mom knew them, so she started talking to them and said that I should probably tell them about the mission trip I had just gotten back from. Now, when someone tells me to talk about a topic that I love talking about, I will go on and on forever, and I still do that too. So I went on and on with this future mentor. A couple of days later, we had to say who our mentor was going to be, and I had no clue who mine was yet. I told my mom that I wanted that crazy lady we met at Culver's. So I called Miss Donna Toller and asked her if she would be my lovely mentor. And yes, she said yes. And that is how she became my mentor. She was there through every step of confirmation. Still, she is a great mentor, and confirmation taught me so much. The next step in my path was commitment. This happened immediately after I went through confirmation. Through the process of confirmation, I affirmed my faith in God. Committing was reassuring that I was going to put all my faith into God. But I'm still just saying words, though. The follow-through is where I prove that I will do as I say. At this point in my life, I started attending youth group on a regular basis and went on my very first mission trip that I will never forget. I remember going to St. Louis and working at a children's center. We landscaped and painted benches for the playground area. As we interacted with the kids, I remember every day there were kids that asked me to give them a piggyback ride or a shoulder ride. And we would also play on the playground with them and throw balls back and forth. This was quite an experience for me. To continue following through with my words, I engaged in volunteering in the community in many different ways. There were ways through Boy Scouts, Community Outreach Day, and even helping inside this church. My first leadership role in the church was a children's message and vacation Bible school. The follow-through stage of my life became the trial run. Dedication. Dedication was the real thing. This is where I proved that I would do whatever I was called to do. This is when I went to Nicaragua. Nicaragua was something that I had thought about a little bit, but never really planned on going in my high school years. Yes, Miss Effie kept talking to me about it for the past 3 years, but I never took initiative and actually learned more about the trip. Then one Sunday came along and she handed me the folder of information. The more I read, the more I wanted to go. That is when I... Oh, whoops. All right, yeah, I was right. That is when I said... My bad. Confused myself. That is when I said, yes, I am going. No, I didn't. Yes, yeah. Let me restart that. The following Sunday, Miss Effie told me that Skylar was going to go too. That is when I said, yes, I am going because everything is better with a friend. Skylar Lovett is a friend of mine who used to live here in Murray, and then he moved away in about the second or third grade. We went at the Baptist Medical and Dental group, and I had a blast serving others. I met new people from all around the United States, and I also got up and personal and close with the ones that we always hear about that are in need. The most memorable moment from the trip happened at 2 in the morning. I had just gotten up to use the bathroom, and as I came out, a team member told me to follow him. So I followed him to the porch of our mission house, and we sat there. He pointed up in the sky and said, "Just watch." As we sat there in silence, I watched the sun rise. But what caught my attention more than the giant sun in the sky was the morning star. It is such a beautiful star. It's such a beautiful sight. This star led the sun across the morning sky. This made me realize how small we really are and how every little action that we do has an effect on what is to come in the future. Nicaragua was truly the best and most touching mission trip I have ever been on. After my return, I volunteered more in the church, but this time I expanded my comfort zone. I still continue to do some children's messages, but I also ushered a few times, did the children's church and the liturgy. And here I am today preaching. My life has been quite a journey and is still continuing. These were the 6 main points in my life that influenced my next chapter. Start here was when I was brought into the church. Confirmation, commitment, follow through, dedication, and now to be continued. I'd like to share one quote that has helped me through my entire journey. God gave me hope to share hope with others. Now, on the screens in front of you, there should be the same quote, but with blanks. I want you to fill in the blanks. God gave me blank to share blank with others. Now, this is my first time in 5 years that I have not actually led the children's message. So I was a little heartbroken. I'm sure you all have heard the children pray. If you haven't, they repeat what the leader says. Since we are all children of God, what I would like to do is I will say a part of the prayer, and then the congregation repeat after me. Okay? Do you all understand what I'm saying? I will say a little bit of the prayer, and then you all repeat. Okay. Dear God, thank you for leading us in life. Please continue to be with us every day.